Hey y'all, welcome to Kamira's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making some baked jerk chicken wings as well as some roasted cauliflower and carrots, some rice and peas, and I've served this whole meal up with some ranch and some salad. Don't forget to check out my ebook in the description box and we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, first thing we're going to do is that we're going to work on these jerk chicken wings. Now, these are not like your authentic grilled Jamaican jerk chicken wings, but it is really delicious. I don't have a grill, so this is going to work for me. I have 2 pounds of chicken wings and I'm going in with a tablespoon of green seasoning, half a tablespoon of Sazon, and 1 tablespoon of a low sodium jerk seasoning. This already has garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of allspice, thyme. It has all of that already in it. I'm also going to be using a tablespoon of this chicken seasoning. Now, I'm not adding any additional salt to this other than what's already in the chicken seasoning. And I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil to help all of the seasoning stick to the chicken. While this chicken, I've been seasoning it, I've had my oven preheating at 400 degrees because I'm going to cook the chicken and the vegetables in the oven at the same time. Now I'm going to add my veggies to a tray that I line with foil, and I like to add a baking rack on top because ain't nobody trying to do all this extra cleanup. Okay, this is sheet pan stuff. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven, and I'm going to get this started on the top rack so it can get brown. Next, I have some cauliflower straight from the bag, okay? Now, any of you guys that don't eat vegetables, first of all, you need to repent, okay? You need to ask the Lord for forgiveness, okay? And you need to ask him to change your taste buds, all right? Because y'all need to be eating these vegetables so y'all can, y'all system can evacuate like a fire drill, okay? That's what needs to be happening. Now with this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some carrots. I have these nice carrots. I got a ton of carrots from Costco, y'all, for a great deal. So I'm just going to cut off the tops and the bottoms. I'm going to peel these, and you need to cut the carrots in sort of a medium size. Carrots are a really hard vegetable, so typically they would take longer to cook than cauliflower. So don't cut them too large so they won't come out too crunchy. You don't want that, okay? Now, if you've already been enjoying this video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up and subscribe for more recipes. As y'all can see, I post every week and your girl can throw down, okay? People gonna be talking about you in a good way when you make these recipes. Let me tell you that, all right? Now, I'm going to add these straight in with the cauliflower, and then I'm going to put in some olive oil, some Vegeta, and some Grace's vegetable seasoning. And I love this vegetable seasoning. I actually use this on more than just vegetables, but it's really good on this with some paprika. I'm going to use a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of salt. You don't need to do anything too complicated to roasted vegetables. Actually, the roasting process will caramelize the vegetables a little bit and just naturally give them a great flavor. I'm going to add these veggies to another foil lined baking sheet, and I'm going to stick these on a lower rack under the chicken so that they can cook at the same time. You guys let me know, what is your favorite vegetable to roast? I think mine definitely could be carrots because they just get a really nice sweet flavor in the oven. Now, it's been 40 minutes of cooking time for the chicken, and they're nice and brown at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and flip them over. I'm going to let them cook another additional 20 minutes before I add a sauce I'm going to make on top of them. However, it's only been about 20 minutes of cooking time for the vegetables. And as you can see, they're going to get more brown on the bottom because they're on the lower rack. So go ahead and turn those as well. And then we're going to start working on a sauce. I like to use unsweetened ketchup because I can control the sugar. So I'm going to put in about half of a cup, and then I'm going to add this spicy mango pickapeppa sauce. Now, this is not available everywhere, so it's optional. I'm going to add in about a tablespoon, but if you can get it, you can find it at an African or Caribbean store usually. Now, this scotch bonnet hot sauce is very hot. Okay, I'm using 2 teaspoons, so if you can't take heat, don't use it. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of honey. I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of some jerk seasoning, a little bit of his jugo seasoning. This is really more like a soy sauce, maybe a little bit more concentrated. And at this point, I'll really just go in and I'll season to taste. Now, if you don't want to do all this, I totally understand. They sell like jerk barbecue sauces at the store. You can totally just use that or get a regular barbecue sauce and add some jerk seasoning to it. That could work. But I love the flavor of a homemade sauce, and I can control the sugar a lot more. Now, it's been 20 more minutes, and I'm now going to go in and I'm going to put my sauce all over the chicken, the bottom and the top. I'm going to let it cook 3 more minutes at 400, and then I'm going to put it on a low broil for a few minutes. Now, you better watch it while it's on a broil because you don't want it to burn, and it is on the top rack. But that's going to make the chicken, really sticky and give it a nice flavor. Now, at the bottom, we have our cauliflower and our carrots. I'm going to turn them and I'm going to stick them in the oven just for like another minute or so. Okay. In total, I ended up cooking my vegetables for about 35 minutes. I did the chicken for about 65 to 70 minutes, about an hour to roast the chicken, and then about 5 more minutes to brown the sauce. Now, I'm also going to be serving up some rice and peas with this. I've showed you guys this recipe before, but I like to put everything in one video. Now, this is 2/3 of a cup of kidney beans. They've been soaking overnight. And this is the type that I'm using. You can also just use regular kidney beans. Now, the best thing to do if you're making this meal would be to start this whole process first, because these beans are going to take 50 minutes to cook in the Instant Pot. I like to flavor my beans with garlic, bay leaves, allspice, and a little bit of a chicken bouillon cube and some garlic and a scallion. Now, if you don't have all these seasonings, just go in with some salt and the allspice and garlic, and that could work as well. All right. Now, add about 2.5 cups of water. You don't want to add too much or there'll be too much liquid. All right. Then you go in and you pressure cook this for 50 minutes. I think this is the best way to do it. You could do these on the stovetop, but who wants to sit here like 2 hours and wait for some beans to soften? Look, baby, if you ain't got a pressure cooker, go to my link in the description box and buy you a pressure cooker. I've had this thing for about 5 years and it has never done me bad, okay? Now, you will know your beans are ready when you can mash on them with a spoon and they should easily just crush, okay? And as you can also see, there's not a ton of excess liquid. In a pot, I'm going to melt about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to put about half of a minced onion, some allspice berries, about 1 teaspoon of green seasoning. I will link that recipe in the description box, and about 1 teaspoon of fresh minced garlic. I'm going to saute this for about 2 to 3 minutes until you smell everything. It should have a wonderful aroma. And then I'm going to season this with some garlic powder and a scallion and cayenne seasoning. I'm going to also go in with a little bit of my Sazon tropical and some onion powder, which is really good in here. You can season this as heavily or as lightly as you prefer, but I really like a good flavor on my rice and peas. I'm adding tons of fresh thyme, and when I measured the liquid from the beans, I had 2 cups. I'm also going to go in with just 1 cup of water because I need 3 cups of water total in order to make enough liquid for my rice. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some coconut milk powder. This is going to give it a nice, creamy, light, sweet taste. This is really good. I wouldn't leave it out. And I prefer to add a little bit of Vegeta. You could also just use a little bit of salt at this point. I'm going to mix everything together and I'm going to cover it with the lid that I have put a little bit of foil on. And I'm also going to add in 2 green onions. Now, the foil is going to help trap in the steam so that it comes up to a boil, but you don't lose a lot of liquid. Then I'm going to put my beans back in there and I'm going to let them simmer in all this flavor, okay, all this goodness for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to add 1.5 cups of washed basmati rice. Basmati rice is my favorite to use for this because the grains will really come apart nicely. I'm going to cover this. I'm going to put this on low for about 20 minutes and then you will have some fluffy rice. It's going to have a really great color. Go in there and pick out them twigs. Okay, we don't want to eat that. Now, I like to dip my wings in a little bit of a light ranch, and I also like to pair this with a nice salad. This is a really nice light meal that's really delicious. Don't forget that I love you and Jesus loves you. God bless everybody who watches my channel. I thank you so much, and I know I'm going to see you next time in Kamira's Kitchen. Goodbye, and God bless.